Hello to my dear friends, how are you? Today is the day that I am taking Miss Micah to the neurologist, and I don't feel so well. My head really hurts. Today's Thursday. It's been hurting since Monday or Tuesday. It's graduated a little bit every day, and when I move around it hurts more. So I forgot to look at the clock. I think it's about 10:30 now. So I have picked out my clothes and I have washed my beautiful shiny face. So I have this mapped out. So in about an hour I'll go in there and I'll get dressed or I'll do my hair. So I'm going to do this in stages. Right now I'm going to rest my head for just a little bit. I can't cancel this visit with Micah, number one, because we need to change her current medication. Number two, because if I reschedule this visit, it will take 90 days to get back in, because that's what I did back in 2015. Now I'm getting 14 and 15 mixed up. Last year, it took quite a long time to get her in, and then I had to reschedule, and anyway, it took months to finally get her in because it's 90 days every time we reschedule for some reason. So I'll just walk you through this whole day with me, and thank you so much for being here with us and caring about Miss Micah. And this is Lance, and I'm now his mama. He's Lauren's cat, but I am training him to not be such a scaredy cat, and I think I'm doing pretty good. I'm pretty proud of our progress. I realized a few days ago I am the first human to ever touch him. I trained him in a day and a half to use the litter box, and I am training him not to be afraid of people, and I am feeling pretty spectacular about this. Okay, so it's raining, it's kind of sleet, it's gonna be snow or something like that. Anyway, we have had the most productive visit with the neurologist ever. I can't wait to tell you about it. I am currently walking over to the car. I think it's like a half a mile from the door. I asked them if they would come down and help me get Micah in the van, because it's just so hard for me to walk. Now, she just operates really good, and she just walks right up in there, then it's super easy. But if there's any problem with her body not cooperating, then I cannot get her in the van. It takes me like 10 minutes sometimes to walk her up in the van, and I'm kind of going uphill and I'm kind of out of breath because I'm talking and I'm walking. So we had a great visit, and I will come back and tell you about it in just a little bit. I'm walking to get the van to go up to the door, and they're going to come out and help me. So I'll talk to you in a little bit. Now we have some snow coming down. Big old giant white flakes of snow. It has a lot of water in it though. And the ground is warm, so it's actually melting. The ice we started out with melted the snow on the ground, so we're starting to see grass a little bit. We are on our way home from the neurologist's office. Hear that beautiful music in the background. I love classical music. You hear Micah? Let's see if I can get her on the camera. Hey, you pretty girl back there. Wasn't that a good visit we had at the neurologist's office? Yeah. This is the absolute best doctor's visit I've had for Miss Micah Weeks in many years. The neurologist is fabulous. This is our second time to see him. First time William took him, I was down with my hip from a car accident, so William took her the first time. I went the second time today. And this guy is so fabulous that I'm actually going to go see him for my own head. We got down to the end of the visit, and I asked him, and he said more headaches come through our office than any other office in town. So he said, if I can't fix you, then I will send you to the other doctor in our office who is a headache specialist. And I wanted to say, I've been through so many doctors, can we just skip you and go right to the specialist? But I didn't say anything. I just said, okay. So I'm going to go back, and Micah goes back in 90 days. But you really want to hear about Micah. So, okay, do you remember when she had hives a few months ago? That would have been in August, I think, that she had hives, August, September. He went back through all the notes. He could see the notes from the emergency room. He could see when I called his office. The first medication that we gave Micah a few months ago, I thought she got a rash from it. It was like these little pinprick dots on her that I have seen since then that really don't even look like a rash, but I was so worried about her getting one because he said it's major serious if you get those. So I told him about the hives, and it was a possibility that the hives came from the first medication, but then he went through and he looked through all the dates, and he kind of didn't think that happened, but he didn't want to go back to that medication because he said if something happens and she gets hives, we're going to stop that medication anyway, so let's just do something new. He did say that her current seizure medicine could be causing the seizures. Seizure medicine is anti-seizure, but it is possible that it agitated her and caused the seizures, which I thought was very interesting. So, let's see. Don't ask me the name of any of these because I don't know what they are, but they're not seizure medications that I've heard of. They're not the typical ones that that have been around for a long, long time. So he gave us some samples. So she's going to start out 50 milligrams in the morning, 100 milligrams at night, and then work up to 100 milligrams morning and night. She's still taking the current medicine, 500 milligrams for 30 whole days, unless there's a big giant problem of taking both of these together, because he said what can happen, I forgot what he said, but if you get two seizure medications together, it can cause too much of something. And I'm sorry, I forgot what he said. It is nighttime. I came home and I couldn't video because I was too tired. I had to lay down for a little while. Okay, let me see if I can remember everything that we talked about. Okay, so I covered the first medication, the second medication. We're going to start a third medication. Oh, he showed me the report. In 2010, Micah had an EEG. That's where they put all those little things on your head, and they watch you when you sleep. We have to give her some medicine ahead of time so that she'll doze off for a little bit during the EEG, and they can get sleeping, almost sleeping, and then they can get her awake. He let me read the report of it, and the very last line of the report, he said she has something additional going on. When they would flash lights in her eyes, there was seizure activity going on in the back of her brain. So thank you, Jose. You wrote me that note about strobe lights and TV can sometimes cause seizures. So the neurologist mentioned today, years ago when Pac-Man came out, Pac-Man had a lot of lawsuits against them because people were having seizures because of the strobe lights and it's moving lights. So he said, police cars, ambulance, fire department, anything that is, he said, like if you're driving down the road and you're driving next to trees and the lights coming through the trees as you go by, he said that can cause seizures. So he said we can teach Micah to close her eyes, to turn her head. He said when you close your eyes, you still see the lights. It's better to teach her to turn her head away from lights. Ultimately, the seizure medicine is going to take care of this, but that would still be something good to see. He said he has not seen any patients that have had seizures while watching a video or watching TV. So he found it interesting when I told him that both times Micah had these seizures on Wednesday and on New Year's Day. So that was Wednesday, New Year's Day was on Friday, and then we think she had one on Monday going to her day program, so that was 3 in just a few days. So that's Meow Meow. He came up here, but then when I bent down, he ran off. I was going to show him to you. So he said that he asked me about, any flashing lights, any kind of, moving lights. Specifically, he's talking about flashing lights. And I said there was nothing. These are just twins on a video. It's like a home video kind of thing. Nothing big was going on there. So he's not real sure. He did tell me something interesting about seizure medication. The two things. The current seizure, the new one that we're going to start taking. If for some reason she has to go to the hospital, it can be given with an IV. So that would be really good. She can keep her current dose of seizure medication if she's unable to swallow it because she's in the hospital or for whatever reason. So that's really cool. Second thing is, he said some people find that when they start taking seizure medication that the real personality comes out. So like people are more alert. They're doing things that they haven't done before because now their brain is working like it's supposed to. For instance, if someone is having multiple seizures in a day, they're having them every hour, they're just having a lot of them. Then when they stop having that seizure activity, their brain starts to work a little bit better. Probably a little bit like my headache. My headache makes me talk slow. My headaches make my body tired. My headaches make my brain just be tired, and when my brain is tired, I just can't do as much. So I don't know that it's the same patterns in there, but I think you follow what I'm saying. When things are going on in our head, the rest of us just doesn't work right, and when anything is happening in our head, then our brain doesn't work right. So do you have anything you want to tell your friends? She didn't want to go today. You didn't want to go today, did you? Did you think they were going to poke you? Yeah, you didn't want them poking on you to draw blood? No. It was a good visit though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Did you like Dr. Moravec?
Yeah.
Yeah, and like he had a PA in there. Did you like, not a PA, that's a physician assistant. He had a medical student in there. Did you like her? She was nice.
Yeah.
She had beautiful red hair, didn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that lady that came in there when we first got there, she was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody in there was nice, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they came. Oh, I have to tell you some stories. Okay, so we get done with our visit, and I ask if there's a staff member that can come down and help me get Micah in. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's not, and I wasn't feeling so well today with my head, so I wanted some help. Getting her out is really easy. I can just turn her around on the van seat, and I can just kind of slide. I just hold on to her. I grab a hold of her, and I just kind of slide her down the steps, and then I pick her up, or help her stand up, and then we walk over to the wheelchair. We could not get Micah in the van. She picks up her leg to start, picks up her foot to put it on the step, and then she has no energy in her body. She can't pull her body weight up. I'm like, oh, Micah, you can't do this. We have to get in the van. So she tries it again, and so I'm inside the van, and the staff member is outside the van, and so I'm trying to pull her up with her arms, and she's trying to pull her up from underneath. And Micah's just not, she's just kind of limp. We can't get her in the van. So this is what we ended up doing. We kind of sort of get her in the van. Like she's half in, half out. So what we ended up doing is we ended up picking Micah up. She had the bottom half, I had the top half. Micah is laying vertical across the entire seat of the van. And then I had to roll her over and sit her up and buckle her in. We've never had to do that. What was wrong with you today? Were you tired?
Yeah.
Like she just, on occasion she does that, but usually I'll have like William there and he can just pick her up if it's just a really big problem and she can't walk. But we couldn't just pick her up today. So anyway, that was kind of funny. There were a couple of other, I was going to tell you this. He did tell me the first thing that he thinks of when it comes to having seizures that you've not been having in the past is a urinary tract infection. A few months ago, she took 3 antibiotics, but the third antibiotic that she took, she tested negative for the UTI, but because she had symptoms, we started the antibiotic. It takes a few days to get those cultures in. It came in negative, but we went ahead and finished that really strong antibiotic. It's the one that they give people in nursing homes when they have chronic UTIs. So the first thing he thinks of is a UTI, especially since she has had some recently. He said you don't always have symptoms of those because she's not exhibiting any symptoms that anyone has seen, and we watch her pretty close. So I take her to the bathroom to get this urine sample. And I won't be too graphic or anything, but you know how they put those old plastic hats in the toilet to collect the urine? So I'm in there by myself, and I don't do this stuff all the time, so crazy stuff always happens when I'm taking care of Micah. For some reason, the wheelchair ended up being like Micah's sitting here, and the wheelchair is right up next to her. I don't know what happened, but I'm over here, like in the corner between Micah and the wall, so I can't go around her. So I walk over the back of Micah in the toilet and almost get in the urine, and it was just kind of a silly thing. So I hope you think that's funny because it was hilarious. Was that funny? Yeah, like I'm climbing on Micah and she's almost falling off, and yeah, it was kind of crazy. Did you have anything you wanted to tell them?
No.
Did you have a good day today?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you go to the reality church today?
Yeah.
They have told me several times Micah loves going to the reality church where she sanitizes the toys in the nursery, is that right? Is
Yeah.
that what you do? You like those toys?
Yeah.
Yeah, do you ever get to see the little kids? You get to see some of the little kids?
Yeah.
Yeah, you get to see adults there?
Yeah.
Yeah, does it make you want to go be in the nursery?
Yeah.
Yeah, and play with all the little kids?
Yeah.
You'd have fun, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, well, thank you for letting me tell your story today. You're such a sweet girl. I appreciate that. You want to tell your friends bye?
Yeah.
You want to blow them a kiss? So thank you so much for watching. This is Tamera Weeks with Tam's Daily Vlog, and we will talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye. You tired? Me too.